my name is Mallory. I work at the Kennedy Heights Arts Center. Today I'm going to show you how to make these daisies out of weather-resistant materials so that you can put them outside and they can stay out even if it's raining. When you open your creativity kit, you will find all the materials you need to create your daisy. You will have received 2 sheets of Tyvek. These are cut to 5" by 5" squares, and Tyvek is a material that is made out of plastic, so that's why it can go outside and it won't fall apart in the rain. You will also find your thick wire stem, your thin wire, 1 yellow pom-pom ball, 1 yellow crayon, and 1 pencil. So the first step to make our daisy is to fold our Tyvek. We're going to do this 1 sheet at a time. So you'll see that your Tyvek sheets have 2 holes that are punched in them. We will need those holes later. So the first fold we're going to make is to fold this square sheet in half to create a rectangle. We are now going to fold this rectangle in half again to create a smaller square. Now, as you can see, this is the point where I am folding, where it's been folded once and folded twice. From this point, I'm going to fold it again diagonally to create a triangle, so that when I open up this sheet, all of my lines are coming from my center point. After you've unfolded the sheet, take your yellow crayon. Your crayon is much bigger than this one. And just color the center yellow. This will help distinguish your yellow center of your daisy. The next step is to draw our petals. You will use a pencil for this. I'm going to use a Sharpie so that you can see where I'm drawing. Use the center yellow portion of your daisy as your guide, also your fold marks. Where you folded the paper will be the center of your petals. So I'm going to draw, starting at one of my fold lines, the top of my petal, and petals are curved. So I'm going to draw down near the center of my flower, but not all the way, and then I'm going to come up to my next fold line and just repeat that process so that you are creating a flower shape with your folds as your guide. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just that they're roughly about the same size. And that's okay if your diagonal lines, if those petals are a little bit longer than the others. So now that that has been drawn, we're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut along our line. So make sure when you're drawing out your petals that you press hard with your pencil. If you have a Sharpie, you can use that as well. If you want your daisy to not be white and you want your daisy to be a different color, you can color your daisy whatever color you want. The reason why we wanted to make a creativity kit where you make daisies is because daisies are symbols for innocence and hope. And right now, we thought it would be really nice to share some hope with you and for you to share some hope with your neighbors. Okay, so we're just cutting along those lines. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. All right. Okay. So there is one of our daisy layers. The next step is to do all of that again with your second sheet. So then you have 2 of these. So again, so now I have my 2 daisy layers. The next step is to connect these 2. We're going to do that by using the thin green floral wire. So you have a length of this in your kit. We're going to use one end of it to go from the bottom of one of our layers. You're going to find these 2 holes now. We're going to put one end of the wire through one of the holes going from the bottom to the top. Now we're going to take our second daisy layer, and again the wire is going to go from the bottom of the layer through one of the holes, and through the top. You're going to pull that wire through, and you're going to make a loop. You're just going to bend it over just a little bit. You're going to take that same end and go from the top of the top layer. So you're going to find the other hole and put the wire through from the top to the bottom through that other hole. And then you're going to take that same wire and go through the other hole from top to bottom in that second layer. So now, so you can see, I have a wire loop that is on the top of my daisy, and I've got the 2 other ends of the wire underneath. The next step is to take our yellow pom-pom, which will be the center of our daisy. And this can be a little finicky, so make sure, just take your time. I'm going to use one hand to hold on to both layers of my daisy, and I'm going to put, you have glue dots in your kit. You're going to put a glue dot right in the center here. I forgot mine today. So just put a little bit of glue, your glue dot right in here, and that'll help stick your pom-pom on. So then, your pom-pom is also a little bit bigger than mine. I just had this one at home today. So while you have your pom-pom stuck to your daisy in the center, you're going to slowly start pulling this wire through, trying to align it into the center of your pom-pom. And you can push the wire too with your thumb. So I'm pushing and I'm pulling the wire just a little bit more, a little bit more. And what's going to happen is the wire is going to help hold your pom-pom in place. So now with my hand, I'm holding on to the wire, which is in the center of my pom-pom. I'm holding on to the pom-pom, and I have my other finger on the back of my daisy layers. And I have my 2 wires that I can use my other hand with, and I'm going to tightly twist these together, just like a twist tie. So I'm going to bring them together and then twist. And I'm going to twist pretty tightly for these first couple of twists, and that's going to hold my pom-pom in place. So even if it's windy and rainy, it won't go anywhere. Your glue dot will help too. So I still have all this loose wire here, the thin wire, and I'm just going to twist that on itself loosely. Okay. So our daisy is taking shape. Now what we need to do is put our daisy flower on the daisy stem. So I'm going to take my stem and I'm going to lay my daisy face down, put my stem on top of my daisy, and you see I'm centering the stem right next to the thin wire, and I have it sticking upwards about 1 inch. So now what I'm going to do is take my thin wire and wrap it around my stem. It helps if you pick this up. And I'm going to take this wire, this thin wire, and tightly, tightly, tightly wind it around my stem. Until there's no more of the thin green wire. Just wind it, wind it, wind it. Turn your daisy back over, and you can kind of twist your Tyvek layers so that you can see all those beautiful petals that you cut out. And that is your finished daisy. So now what you can do with it is you can take this end, the other end of your stem, and use that to push it into the ground outside in your front yard or maybe at your favorite place. And you can have your daisy outside to spread hope.